to hold it all in our hands, but it slips through like soft drifting sands. But drying the tears can build it all like new. Now and forever, remember the words from my heart will always be true. Now and forever, together, and all that I feel is my love for you. Learning each day that the right time was so far away to tell you the things I knew. Now it's clear that the moment we search for is here, and counting the years is all I want to do. Now and forever, remember the words from my heart will always be true. Now and forever, together, and all that I feel is my love for you. Hold me as close as love will allow, until all your fears are gone.